This is the deodorant that I use, and this is not a product placement or endorsement or anything like that. This Old Spice Fiji with palm tree, they managed to fit a palm tree inside of a stick of deodorant. And look, there's the palm tree right there. You can even feel it. It's like you're touching an actual palm tree. It's got like a beveled or whatever the hell it's called, but you can feel it. A real palm tree. But this stuff is amazing. It says the freshness of the scent of a trip to Fiji with palm trees without the baggage handling fees. And it's just, oh man, that is brilliant. It smells amazing. And one would think that if something smells this amazing, by default, it would taste just as amazing. Nope, not at all. That was a bad idea. But sometimes bad ideas require just a little bit of ingenuity to turn them from a bad idea to a brilliant one. Old Spice might be brilliant, but I'm even more brilliant. All that I have managed to do was make the inside of my mouth taste like Crest, Fiji, and Tabasco sauce. Alright, I'm just messing around. This video, it's not gonna be anything real, like, funny. I mean, maybe that part was funny. I don't know. I think it's funny. Maybe you do too. That'd be great if you did. That would be really, really good. As you can tell, I am back on the road. I am in my truck. And from the moment that my off time or home time ended, things have been a bit disastrous, to say the least. 2 days before I was to get back on the road, I got a message notifying me that my dispatcher is no longer my dispatcher. Now I have a new dispatcher, and this news was a bit concerning because when I have a dispatcher like I had, his name is Garrett, he was brilliant. He told me everything I needed to know. I didn't have to hunt down for answers or information. Be here, do this, do that. Everything spot on. And I was hoping this new dispatcher would be much the same. However, things didn't pan out that way. I told her on a Thursday that I would be going back to my truck on a Friday the very following day, and I'd be ready to go first thing in the morning. Now, I wasn't expecting a dispatch first in the morning, but you never know. Sometimes you can luck out and you will have one. So I spent a few hours in the truck, and then I messaged her and I said, hey, is it looking like they're not going to get me anything until Monday? And she says, yes. Keyword, I think they are going to send you to Long Beach. I'm just waiting for it. Now, whatever she was waiting for, I don't know. She never messaged me again. She never let me know. So I assumed nothing came through the channel. And I wasn't about to spend the whole weekend in the truck. So naturally, I went home because I wasn't told where to go, what to do. And come Monday, I get a call early in the morning demanding to know why I'm not in Long Beach. Well, because nobody told me to be in Long Beach. See, unless I'm told, go to Long Beach, I'm not going to Long Beach. I think they're going to send you to Long Beach is not a confirmation to me that I should go to Long Beach. What she thinks that, but she could be wrong. So I could end up driving all the way to Long Beach, 330 miles, just to find out I have to go to Las Cruces and then drive another 330 miles back. That's 660 miles driving on my dime because they're not going to be, they're going to be like, why'd you go to Long Beach? Well, she thought I had to go to Long Beach. So it's crucial to communicate exactly what you want. Not, I think I'm going to Long Beach. Go to Long Beach. They'll probably have something for you on Monday. Not, I think And she proclaims that she told me, and that's why we communicate on the Qualcomm, where everything's in text. Everybody can go back, see who said what, not he said, she said, this and that. So that blew over. I got to Long Beach. I picked up the shipment. They changed all the appointment times and such like that. I had one stop in Aurora, Colorado, which is a suburb of Denver, for those of you that don't know. And my second stop was here in Casper, where I currently am. Now, after I delivered in Aurora, I couldn't head up north to Casper because the wind speeds were just way too high for my light load. At that point, my load was light to start with, right? It was maybe about a total of 7,000 pounds. At my first stop, they almost unloaded everything. At my second stop, I only had 4 barrels left, which equaled, I don't know, maybe 1,000 pounds, something like that. Way too light for the wind gusts that were going on at 40, 50 miles per hour. But I waited it out. The sun went down, everything calmed down, so I made my way up to Casper, and I delivered my shipment yesterday morning. And I was picking up another shipment from the same location, which I currently have in the back of my trailer. And then I had to go back to this truck stop and park it because, again, the wind speeds were just too high. And this time, they didn't calm down. They were blowing all through the night like crazy, gusting up to 60 miles per hour or more. I'm parked facing directly west, and the wind was coming at me from the southwest. I had no other choice. This is the only way I could park here. And there was times where I legitimately thought that my truck was going to get blown over, because it can get blown over even if you're just standing still, sitting there doing nothing. In fact, I was recording almost the same video yesterday, and I just couldn't do it because the wind was blasting me so hard, and it just kept shaking everything, and I was nervous. I'll admit, it was a pretty nerve-wracking. However, I do have this video clip which I took yesterday, and this is a flashlight as well as my masks that are hanging off the upper center console of my truck, and you could see how they're just swinging and swaying back and forth constantly. Now here, where I am now in Casper, the winds have more or less calmed down. They're maybe 10, 15, 20, 25 miles per hour, which is manageable. It's not comfortable, but it's manageable. The load I picked up, by the way, yesterday to take to Houston is also a very light load. My trailer is completely full, but it's all empty containers. It doesn't weigh anything. The total weight on my trailer axles is 18,000 pounds, and a 50 mile per hour wind gust would make mincemeat of me with that kind of weight. So the winds have calmed down here. Over a little bit further south, closer to the Colorado border, they're still blowing like crazy, and I'm constantly monitoring what the wind speeds are. The last time I checked in Cheyenne, Wyoming, the winds were gusting up to 71 miles per hour. That, even if you have a 44,000 pound load, a 70 mile per hour wind gust straight to your side, it's going to topple you over. So the interstate, I-25, is closed completely at Cheyenne, from Cheyenne to the Colorado border. So I'm just stuck sitting here. I have to be in Houston on Monday, but that's more and more looking like that's not going to happen. And it's frustrating. It's annoying. And so far, my experience after having gotten back on the road has been rubbish. Since I had some free time yesterday, I took it upon myself to try and get a PlayStation 5 to no avail. I was this close on Walmart.com at 9 p.m. when they released their final stock. I was right there putting in my information, and now obviously I had to click through everything multiple times because the site was crashing and whatever. But I was putting in my payment information. I clicked to finalize the order, and then gone. No more. So I think that was my last attempt, but I wasn't I was disappointed, but not exactly heartbroken, because I was already committed to the idea that I'm probably not going to get one until next year, and that's fine. You know, I've looked at the marketplaces and people are selling them for as high as $1,200 I've seen. I am not going to pay $1,200 for a system that I can wait just a little while longer and get for $500. And I implore everybody, don't do it. Don't feed into these people who are just trying to, look, I get it, man. Short supply, high price, that's how it works. But all you have to do is wait a little bit longer and you'll be able to get it for $500 or $400 depending on which version you're getting. And the same for Xbox. People are selling the Xboxes at extremely high prices, and I implore everybody not to give in to these ding-dongs and their efforts to take advantage of a situation. But at the same time, I'm like, hey man, more power to you. You got one, so you go out there and get that money. I'm rich, bitch! And while I didn't get a PlayStation 5, I did get something in the mail yesterday that is very exciting. I upgraded my phone to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now, originally, I didn't think I was going to upgrade because I didn't believe the iPhone 12 would have anything really enticing. But when I saw the Apple Pro Raw and the Dolby Vision 10-bit, oh man, those two things right there sold me on it. And so I'm very excited about that. It's currently at home, which does me no good because I'm here in Casper, Wyoming, waiting to get back on the road, which I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. But I do need to get through home so I could pick up my new phone and turn in my old one, because the one I currently have is the 11 Pro Max. And so I'm trading that one in for the 12 Pro Max. So I'm very excited about that. Now in my life, that's pretty much what's been going on the past few days. However, in the whole of the world and the United States, there has been lots of excitement thanks to the presidential elections. Now, I know most people don't like talking about politics, and listen, I'm not going to sit here and talk about politics. I'm not a political person. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm not left. I find both of these sides, whether you're left or right, to be equally annoying, idiotic, and just plain... both of them. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter what politician. I have a massive disdain for both sides. They are two wings of the same bird. And so this is not, like, when it comes to politics, I look for what could possibly be the most entertainment to me. That's what I look for in politics. Like, when Donald Trump got elected in 2016, I was very excited. Sorry about that. I'm hearing some... I don't know if the microphone's picking that up. I don't know what that is. It sounds scary. Hopefully I don't die. But anyways, as I was saying, when Trump got elected in 2016... I was very excited because Donald Trump is like an individual who was born and raised inside of a trailer park, given him millions of dollars, and then made president. The guy speaks at a third grade level, which is highly amusing and entertaining, and I get why he's so popular, because most people that support him can only understand things at a third grade level. So he appeals to them in that sense. I totally get it, you know, more power to them and him. I don't really care about much other than the entertainment that he provides me or any politician provides me. And Donald Trump has provided me lots of entertainment over the course of these last 4 years. But now it's looking like it might be no more. Joe Biden won the election. Whether he did that with cheating, whether he did it honestly, whether there was voter fraud or not, I don't care about any of those things. My only concern, once again, is the entertainment aspect of all this. Now, Joe Biden has potential to be entertaining. He's been entertaining a lot. He has a lot of gaffes, a lot of ridiculous and idiotic things he says that are really funny, but he just doesn't have the consistency of Donald Trump. Now, from the perspective of a political person, that's absolutely a good thing. However, for me, not so good. But I have faith that Joe Biden, Uncle Joe, creepy Uncle Joe, will provide a decent amount of entertainment if he manages to keep the presidential seat. But I've been thinking about scenarios in my head that could happen, probably won't, but they could. That would be extremely entertaining. Imagine this, January 20th, the day of the inauguration. Joe Biden is set to, take the throne, if you please. And Donald Trump is nowhere to be found. And they discover that he has barricaded himself in the Oval Office with his family. And obviously members of the government and the police authority or whatever, FBI, know that this can't go on. So they assemble a SWAT team. They kick in the doors of the Oval Office, flashbang the office. News media is everywhere. There's onlookers, and we see Donald Trump getting pulled from the Oval Office by 4 SWAT team members. One of them has his arms, or, you got one guy on each of his arms, you got one guy on each of his legs, and they're pulling him out of there, and he's screaming and yelling, and he's clutching a flagpole and an office chair, and he's screaming that this is fake news and the election was rigged.
No.
That, if I got that, I would never ask for anything out of life again, because that, I believe I would die from laughter. I genuinely believe that if that came into fruition, if that became a reality, oh man, just imagine how amazing that would be. A U.S. president getting flashbanged and pulled out of the office. Oh, I know it's probably not going to happen, but a man can dream, and dream I will. Now, I would stop at that. I would be fine getting just that, but we can take it a little bit further. We've seen a lot of video evidence that Melania Trump and Donald Trump, they don't exactly like each other, or at least she doesn't like him. So I can imagine, and this might be realistic, that after the election is over, but let's say all of Trump's lawsuits, all of his attempts to reverse the election and uncover voter fraud go nowhere, he doesn't become president again, Melania Trump divorces him. That, to me, would also be entertaining. It'd be even more entertaining. Let's forget the scenario with the flashbanging in the Oval Office, and let's say that Trump is at the inauguration. He's finally realized that he's been defeated. No voter fraud has been discovered. He's there with Melania, and Melania serves him divorce papers at the inauguration. It's not as good as the flashbang in the Oval Office, but that would still be very, 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 very amusing. Or you could even say that he's not at the inauguration. It just comes out after he's been flashbanged and dragged out of the office that Melania later files for divorce, and she's going to divorce Donald Trump. So now he's lost the presidency. He's going to lose his wife, and how could things get any worse for him? But the real magnum opus of this, let's say Trump gets flashbanged, dragged out of the office, Melania files for divorce, and then later all of Trump's efforts to uncover voter fraud, all the lawsuits, they actually pan out. And it turns out there was massive voter fraud. Joe Biden loses a bunch of votes. Enough votes are discovered to be fraudulent that it turns the election around, and Donald Trump remains president. Imagine that. Right now, there are so many Democrats gloating and cheering and excited that Donald Trump is finally gone and they get Joe Biden. I mean, maybe they might have wanted Bernie Sanders or somebody else, but I mean, that's been their whole thing. I'm voting for Joe Biden because I hate Donald Trump. I've never actually heard somebody say why they're voting for Joe Biden based on his policies, but whatever. They got Joe Biden like they want, at least not Trump. They got somebody other than Trump, and it just happens to be Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Now imagine all those people that are gloating, they're telling the Republicans to suck it up and this, and good for them, you know. The Republicans have been doing the same exact thing for the last 4 years. I recall, I've seen all of it. I always watch these things very carefully because they are very amusing, and watching people fight online, extremely funny. And so the Republicans have been doing it for the past 4 years, so now it's the Democrats' turn to be in the limelight and tell them, you know, suck it up, quit crying, this and that, give it up, you lost. So good for them, that's what they're doing. But imagine, with all of their excitement, all of their joy, the election suddenly gets turned around and Joe Biden is no more. Now, Donald Trump is back in the Oval Office. He's president once again. Imagine the emotional distress, the emotional destruction it would cause all of these people that are currently gloating that Donald Trump is gone. That would be the magnum opus of all. That would be the cherry on top. That'd be like 5 cherries on top. Why do banana splits only have 1 cherry? I think cherries should go the entire length of the banana split. Am I wrong? And that's exactly what that would be. It would be cherries across the length of a banana split. Not just 1 cherry, not 2, as many as it takes to cover the length of a banana split. That's what that kind of turnaround would be. For me, at least, because it would be so funny. It would be hilarious. And anybody who thinks it's not obviously doesn't have a sense of humor. Or they're just like really into politics and take these things seriously, which, okay, that's weird. I don't think it's meant to be taken seriously. It's kind of like, you know, you don't go to Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus, which I know most of you probably won't know what that is, but it was a circus. You don't go there all serious and stone-faced and say, well, let's see what the clowns are up to today. That's kind of what people do with politics, and it's not meant to be that way. But that's why the country is in the state that it is, and it's not going to get better because people idolize these politicians as, you know, they idolize people who say things that appeal to their emotions. And it used to frustrate me, but I realized that I have to look at it as a playground and look for what's most entertaining and how to exploit these things for my own amusement. And that's precisely what I'm doing right now. And that would be great. It would be fantastic. I would love more than anything for that to happen. So those are my short-term dreams, what I hope to see in the near future. And I would be happy getting just the Oval Office with the flashbang and him getting dragged out, clutching a flagpole in an office chair. But the other things, the extra, the divorce and the election getting flipped around, that would be great too. But I would be happy just with the flashbanging Oval Office. That would totally make up for everything that 2020 has been so far. And that's really all I have going on in my life at the moment. And since I'm waiting, I have nothing to do, I decided just to make this video, and hopefully you have enjoyed it. I hope wherever you are, the weather is nice. It's not nice where I am. It was nice where I was at home in Phoenix, where it was a bit chilly, but it was sunny, and I didn't have to deal with 70-mile-per-hour winds. And according to the weather radar, it is snow flurries here now, which hopefully doesn't cause the interstate to close because of snow. Because that, man, imagine like the winds die down, everything stops, but now the interstate is closed because of snow. Whoever invented snow, I hate them. I mean, yeah, it's beautiful, right? But I can appreciate snow online. If I want to see a nice snowscape, I could just go to Google Images, type in snowscape photos or whatever, and enjoy it from the comfort of my own home where it's nice and warm, and not or here in my truck in Casper, Wyoming. Whatever. Anyways, that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching if you have made it to the end. And I want to say a quick thank you to all those who have shared and helped get my Scion XB video up over 600 views. Now, I obviously didn't genuinely think I'd get to 1 million, but hey, you never know, it can still happen. So for those of you who have watched it and shared it, and the reason it has the views that it does is because of all of you, and I'd like to thank you all so much for that. I will be updating further on my situation being stuck here in Casper, Wyoming as I go along. Until then, I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next one.